You're listening to the Intimacy Made Simple podcast, where we have real chats about sex. It's time to tackle the taboo and bust the myths so you can have true intimacy and make your marriage strong. I'm your host, Mary Whitman Ortiz, and today we are joined by my co-host, Rachel Landin. Rachel,
Hi.
so good to see you.
Good to see you again.
And you look lovely today.
Thank you so much.
And you were telling me you have a little fashion thing about you only like to wear what color?
Neutrals. I try. I like neutrals. Just easier. Solid colors. Green. I like green too.
Okay. We have the green in common. Of course,
Yes.
neither one of us are wearing green right now, but
No.
that's good. And you, how long have you lived in Florida?
I've been in Jacksonville my entire life. When I was 2, we moved to Texas for a short while, and but we moved back. I love Jacksonville. It's my city. I don't know if you know my story, but we traveled in an RV for a while.
Yeah.
Traveled around and just realized how beautiful Jacksonville is. The water, the beach. We don't have mountains, but we have palm trees.
You can drive to mountains.
I know. That's what I said. My husband's like, let's go. I'm like, no, let's stay. Especially in real estate. I want to stay.
Yeah. Well, you have to plant roots in order to make that work well for
Yes.
you. And I love Jacksonville too, some of the same reasons. And I've lived in several different states, and it wasn't the ocean that called me back. This is kind of funny. It was the marshy area.
Yes.
It was calm, it was peaceful. I mean, the ocean is glorious too, but I liked noticing all of the subtle changes in the marsh.
When you go over the bridges.
Exactly.
It's so beautiful.
Intercoastal.
And when
It's
you
just
go to
like
other states, they don't have that.
Yeah. And it's not usually on the brochure, the tourist map.
Mm-mm.
Come see these. But now after everybody hearing us, that's what they're going to come see.
We're number 2 in Florida. Tampa's number 1, Jacksonville's number 2.
Wow. So
I know you can feel it when you drive.
For sure.
Yes.
So I'm curious, do you have a question for us today that you think our listeners would like to know the answer to?
I do have a question. I think, something that we are curious about as individuals is, why is sex so distorted? If God created it, why is it distorted in modern culture?
Well, and I'm glad you distinguished that, because culture is going to view sex differently than someone who is believing God. As a Christian, we get to have the best benefits, the fresh understanding of all of God's gifts. And I believe sexual intimacy is one of God's gifts to marriage. But if you are not partnering with God, choosing what God says, then you are not perceiving it that way. And truly, I'm going to give a one-word answer that is the core of why it's distorted. Okay, maybe we need to play a game. So the one-word answer begins with an S. Does that make you think of anything as why sex might be distorted
An S.
in culture?
Because it sells?
Well, unfortunately, yes, but I was going with selfish.
That's a good answer.
People are selfish by nature, unfortunately. And if you are not, as I said, pursuing God and the way He wants His love to flow to you and through you to everyone, but especially to your spouse, then you're going to make choices that are selfish. You might be demanding. You might not be accepting and understanding and wanting it to be a mutually respectful and satisfying experience.
That's an amazing answer.
I'm so glad we captured it.
Yes.
And everybody else can benefit from
Yes.
that. Well, listen, I hope that did pique your interest, because we have something really exciting coming up. On Tuesday, February 15th, 2022, the Intimacy Made Simple podcast is launching, and it's going to be a video podcast. And I have all kinds of ideas about what we could talk about, what listeners want to know, but we are going to be inviting our viewers to submit their questions also. and they will be able to record them, and we'll play the recording and
That sounds interesting.
and answer. Yes, yes. So you know, who knows if our face is going to turn red or not, but I am up for it, and I believe that that kind of a real chat just reduces the anxiety about the topic and invites people to engage and press in more, because we've already said this is information that really is needed.
Yes, it is. It is.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Please subscribe and keep your eye out for those new videos and the podcast launch.
See you later.
Did it stop?
Nope. It's not working.
I wonder if did it stop now?
Nope.
Okay, well, obviously I can cut that. Did I put that button on the
I don't know.
thing?